Bienvenidos and welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. Today we're going to make some homemade flatbreads that are not only super easy to make, but they're filled with so many great flavors. We're talking 10-minute rosemary and cheese flatbreads. Now the beauty of this recipe are two things. The first one, we're not going to use any yeast, so you don't have to wait for that dough to rise. And for the second one, we're going to do it all in the stovetop with absolutely no oven, yet the breads are going to have that beautiful fluffy texture and flavor. Folks, we're talking the most basic ingredients, no tricky techniques or special equipment, just honest home cooking that's packed with a ton of goodness. Alright, let's just dive right into this recipe. I'm going to grab a large non-stick fry pan and heat it with a medium heat. Important to use non-stick here, that way while you're cooking the flatbreads, they don't stick to the surface. While the pan is heating, let's start getting our dough ready. I'm going to add in 2 cups of all-purpose flour into a large bowl, which is 240 grams. To make these flatbreads, you can use whatever flour you like. However, you might need to adjust the liquid content, that way your dough doesn't end up too wet or even too dry. We'll also add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder, which is 10 grams, 2 teaspoons of dried rosemary, which is about 2.5 grams, half a teaspoon of dried thyme, which is half a gram, and half a teaspoon of sea salt, which is 3 grams. You can adjust the salt to your liking. And we'll mix the dry ingredients until they're well mixed. Then we'll make a well in the middle. Finely grated 1 cup of cheese, which is 100 grams. I'm using a Spanish Manchego here that's been aged for 6 months, but you can use whatever cheese you like. 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 30 milliliters. Important to use the good stuff here, as this is truly the backbone of the flatbreads and what gives them that lift of goodness. Link where you can get the Spanish one I'm using in the description box below. And 3/4 cup of water, which is 180 milliliters. And we'll give it a mix until we end up with a dough-like texture. Once you end up with a dough-like texture, get in there with your hand and lightly knead it inside of the bowl just for about 1 minute. This is to ensure that all the ingredients are well mixed, that way you end up with a compact dough. And let me tell you, if your dough is too wet to work with, just add in some more flour in there, and vice versa if it's too dry, add in some more water. And then we'll shape it into a ball. Then we'll sprinkle some flour on a clean flat surface. Add the ball of dough over the flour and cut it into 2 pieces. And shape each one into a ball. And finally, we'll cut each ball into 4 evenly sized pieces for a total of 8 pieces of dough. Then using a rolling pin or even the palm of your hands, start shaping the flatbreads. You can shape them in any design you want. The most important thing is the thickness. You want them to be about 1/8 of an inch, which is a little over 1/4 centimeter. And as you finish each flatbread, brush them with a kiss of extra virgin olive oil. And add it into the hot pan, oil side down, and go for about 1.5 minutes per side. Once again, important to use a medium heat here and nothing higher, otherwise your flatbreads are going to brown too quickly on the outside and not fully cook in the inside. And we'll continue to shape and cook the flatbreads in the exact same method. Once all the flatbreads are done, this dish is ready to go. Check it out, 10-minute rosemary and cheese flatbreads. Easy to make, beautiful presentation, and truly the kind of food that's gonna fill you with so much goodness. Let's give them a try and see how they turned out. I'm telling you folks, there is nothing better than making homemade bread. Even though we didn't use the oven, it smells amazing in the kitchen. This I can't wait to try. And I'm a huge mess. I've got flour everywhere. Here we go. It's so good. First things first is the texture, nice and fluffy, beautifully cooked through. As for the flavors, you have that rosemary, the manchego cheese, and the olive oil really shining through. You saw this easy to make, simple ingredients, truly effortless to put together. The perfect homemade flatbreads for any time of the year, but extra special right now during the holiday as they're gonna fill your home with so many great aromas. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Tandy Irvin, Maria, Catherine Deshays, and Karen Reynolds. Again guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.